All right, guys. So this is going to be the GME update for the week. Just want to point out, I did this in the AMC video as well. So if you heard this part already, you can just skip to like a minute or 2 minutes in. But real quick, just want to give you guys one message. The public forecast that I uploaded today, that I made a live stream about, that will never be done in the future. This was pretty much, my last. I was just giving people one last opportunity to see what we do here, how we forecast stocks, how we make trades off those forecasts, and that's it. All my forecasts from now on will only be on memestockwatch.com, nowhere else. After the trade is done, I may post about it, I may make a video about it, but I'll never give a public forecast before the forecast happens ever again. It'll just be on memestockwatch.com until now. If I do make public forecasts and people do buy a lot of calls, it could really mess up the plays that we're in. It's crazy to think about, but it's just the truth. It floods the dealer with negative delta, and it can have a bearish outcome on the stock. And I don't want to take that risk, and I don't want to feel that kind of responsibility. So that's why I don't mind doing it to a smaller crowd like we have here at Meme Stock Watch, but I'm never going to do it for the public again. So I hope everybody understands that moving forward. All forecasts will only be on memestockwatch.com. Second, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't give financial advice. Nothing that I say here should be taken as financial advice. I simply give forecasts on where I believe the stock will go based on a combination of data that we have here from Deep Dive Stocks and based on a combination of LDPM and triggers. That's it. And I also offer, when I personally take a trade, I offer, just insights on the personal trade that I'm taking, how I'm taking it, my strategy for taking it, but I never, ever, ever suggest that anybody else should take any sort of trade, options or stocks. I simply give over what I personally am doing myself. And that being said, here is the trade I'm looking for in GME. So I do believe that we can have a really bullish rally coming, but to start, the last real thing that we need, the last two things GME needs to complete before we can confirm that rally is, one, price needs to break above this 2314 hourly trigger, and price needs to hold above Gavin's level, 2316 level, for over an hour. All right. Once price holds above 2316 for over an hour, that's when I plan on taking my options positioning. One last thing that we would need to confirm for real that the rally is starting is we need LDPM on the daily to move below price. If you watch the AMC video, you'll understand that. You guys can see what happens when LDPM moves below price. This was a really nice rally. So, there's no full bull confirmation until LDPM moves below price. Now, that being said, I do expect bullish price action on Monday due to the large amounts of sold puts that we saw. Now, yes, IV did bounce hard after earnings, as we can see here. So these sold puts it's possible that they're just an IV play, meaning they're not expecting price to go up and the puts that they sold will expire worthless so they can keep the premium. Instead, they're expecting price to go flat, IV to drop, and then the puts that they sold at 18 will expire worthless and they'll keep the premium, or 16 actually they sold. So it's possible that this is just an IV play. But watching this long enough, guys, when we see these amount of sold puts come in between me and you, usually means price is going up. Last time we saw that kind of an increase was down here, and price made this really nice move to the upside. So it is important to keep in mind that these sold puts don't necessarily mean price is going up. It could also mean that they expect IV to drop, making their puts worthless so that they can keep the premium. But with GME and even the rest of the market, it usually leads to a price increase. Now, what I'm looking for is price to break and hold above 2316 for over an hour, and then I'm going to enter calls at least 3-4 months down the line. After that, I want to see price move up to the monthly trigger. Now, one thing to note is that 25 and 30, all right, 25 and 30 are going to be super, super important levels, and I'll show you why. The options chain, as you can see, this is calls that we're looking at, calls. So there's a huge call wall at 25, there's a huge call wall at 30. And obviously they don't want these options going in the money, whoever sold them, so there's going to be significant effort to not let price move above 25 and to not let price move above 30. Of course, if price gets above either of them, that can cause a lot more upside. So for me, my trade is simple. I'm waiting for any hourly close above 2316, which will complete this airplane setup that we spoke about, where the hourly trigger comes and glances off the daily trigger and continues to move higher. And then I expect price to move up to at least 25. After 23.16, I expect price to move up to at least 25, but possibly even the monthly trigger. From here, here's how it's going to work. If price can do this, base above 25, like this, then boom, I think we're going to 30. But if there's a strong rejection at 25 and we come back here, that's still bullish. As long as we don't lose this 23.16 level, still bullish. So it's really going to be this 25 that's going to be super important. But again, all that will update on the way. For now, what's most important to me is that I plan on entering my GME call position once price moves above this hourly trigger at 23.16. Now keep in mind that I've been buying GME shares for 2.5 years. So when I play GME options, especially because, there is some manipulation that goes on here, I don't ever put a large amount of my money on GME options where at night I can't sleep, or I'm sweating, or I'm nervous all the time, or I'm anxious. I never put that kind of money on it. If I can make money off a move up in addition to the shares that I have, phenomenal. If not, not. So when a good opportunity arises, I treat it like any other stock. I take 1 to 5% of my portfolio. I buy some calls with plenty of time so that if the thesis is invalid, I could easily stop out. And that's it. I go about my day. I set an alert, meaning I plan on buying above 23.16. So once I do that, once we get an hourly close above here, I plan on buying, and then I'm going to set an alert like this on TradingView, where I just go like this, add alert. And if this alert pings, then I'll just stop. Obviously, it has to be an hourly close below. If GME after the close above 23.16 gets another hourly close below it, then I'll stop out of my position for a very, 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 very minimal loss. But if we're right and price holds above 23.16, usually that means that we're going to continue higher all the way up to at least 25. And over here, I'm going to make a decision if I should sell my contracts or if I should keep holding for a move up to the monthly trigger. Over here again, I have to make a decision if I should sell or keep holding or for a move up to 30. So what I truly believe is that price is about to make a really nice move to 30, but with options, I like taking profit along the way at key levels, and I also like taking profit when LDPM starts turning bearish. So for me, as I'm trading, as GME moves up to 25, I'll go down to like the 15-minute time interval, probably like the 30-minute time interval. And, you guys could see over here, as GME approached this monthly trigger, LDPM turned bearish and price came back down. So if as price comes to 25, LDPM moves above price, I'll know that liquidity is getting bad at the 25 area, and I'll probably sell my calls and maybe buy some more on a pullback. If liquidity is still good when price reaches 25, meaning if LDPM, this purple line, is still below price, then I'll hold on and keep going to the monthly trigger, and hopefully to this 30 level. So that's my plan. My plan is to buy calls on any hourly close above 23.16 and hold them at least until this 25 area. If there's an hourly close after that, after I buy my calls back below 23.16, then I'll stop out for a very small loss and it won't affect me in any sort of way. Good luck, everyone. I hope you guys, again, get to see what happens when there's a large amount of sold puts and when VOEX bounces nicely off of this lower black line. I do believe we'll see bullish price action this week, but my confirmation to buy calls is only on a close above 23.16. Best of luck, everyone.